Our story today begins along the gentle banks of the Nile, where papyrus reeds sway like whispered lullabies in the twilight. The air is warm, carrying the faintest scent of lotus blossoms and cedar incense. In the flickering glow of an oil lamp, an ancient Egyptian scholar sits cross-legged on a low bench, unrolling a scroll of papyrus in the quiet hush of early evening. Relax now, feel the gentle weight of the day dissolving. Let your shoulders soften, your breath slow. Every exhale drifting like a feather on a breeze. Notice how your eyelids grow heavy. And with each soft inhale, allow your thoughts to float away, one by one. In this forgotten corner of history, there was a practice more subtle than even the mysteries of the pyramids, an herb called blue lotus. Beloved by scribes and poets, its dreamy aroma, like honeyed water, was known to ease the mind and lift the spirit into a softer realm. Here, under the dim lamplight, the scholar inhales its calming scent, as gentle as a lullaby drifting through the reeds. With every slow breath, you feel a gentle warmth bloom in your chest, as though the lotus itself breathes with you, weaving calm into your bloodstream, softening each thought into a comforting rhythm. In ancient Egyptian belief, the blue lotus symbolized rebirth and peace, a quiet bridge between dreamy rest and waking life. Now, feel the smooth grain of the low wooden bench beneath you, firm and grounding, reminding you are held. As the scholar rolls outlines of hieroglyphs and begins to trace them with fingers warmed by candlelight, he uncovers an illustration, a lotus gently opening, its petals unfurling like sleep's embrace. Each detail is soft and rounded, carved in ink the color of midnight suns. The scholar's fingertip glides over the symbol for peace Hetep, and, as he does, the soft crackle of the lamp's flame echoes like a quiet heartbeat. Your own heartbeat slows, spaced out, calm. Outside, a gentle breeze whispers through the reeds, rustling papyrus leaves and stirring shadows on the sand. If you listen very closely, you lines hear the distant owl's call and the rhythmic lap of water against the bank. It's a hush that wraps around you, soft as a feather, steady as the flow of the river itself. A companion emerges into the soft lamplight, offering the scholar a small cup lotus-infused wine, sweet and fragrant. He accepts it with a slow breath, letting the warmth fill him from tongue to chest to soul. A tradition, whispered among priests and poets, that in small sips the mind drifts gently higher, yes, but not lost, just floating, unbound. Your mind floats, too. The scholar turns back to the scroll, tracing a line of peaceful symbols, each glyph a word, each word a breath. The image of the lotus opens again, like your own mind opening to rest. Each petal a lullaby leading you closer to sleep. In a quiet snail-mail rhythm, every ripple of flame, every flicker of reed, every pooling shadow of night invites you deeper. You feel safe, cradled by the gentle river's memory, by the scholar's careful breathing, by the lotus's soft promise. And now, gently, your breathing becomes the river, rising and falling softly, steadily. Your thoughts drift like petals on water, lull you, deeper, slower. Our story drifts onward now, carried by the Nile's current, into a temple courtyard lit by torches. Tall stone pillars rise into the sky, their carvings telling tales of gods and pharaohs. The air is thick with the perfume of burning frankincense, another gift of the ancient world. A resin traded from distant lands, used in ceremonies to cleanse and calm. The smoke curls upward in delicate threads, vanishing into the night sky, carrying with it prayers and whispered hopes. In this temple, priests gather in robes of white linen, a fabric the Egyptians believed to be pure and protective. They move with slow, deliberate grace, voices low, chanting like waves lapping against stone. Some hold shallow bowls, filled with water and lotus petals, floating like stars upon the surface. Others sprinkle herbs, hemp, coriander, and mandrake into clay vessels, their fragrance soft, their properties known to ease pain, to open dreams, to shift consciousness into calmer states. You notice how your own breath has become like their chant. Slow, rhythmic, rising and falling, steady, safe. The priests speak of how plants are not only gifts of the earth, but bridges between worlds. They believe that to ingest, to inhale, to sip slowly, was to step gently into the spaces where gods walked. Blue lotus especially was linked to Ra, the sun god, for as the flower closes at night and blooms again at dawn, it mirrors the eternal cycle of death and rebirth. In this way, the Egyptians touched eternity with each sip, each inhale, each drifting dream. Now, imagine the temple walls glowing with flickering light. Hieroglyphs painted in ochre and gold, glistening like rivers of fire. The priests' voices become soft echoes, blending with the hum of insects in the night. You feel your own body lighter now, as though rising with each word, floating above the stone floor, drifting with the lotus-scented breeze. And still, you are safe, anchored, resting. The ceremony is not one of frenzy or wildness, it is slow, deliberate, tender. In this age, intoxication was not a careless act, but a sacred crossing. Every cup of wine, every petal floating within, was an offering, a key. And so the people entered altered states not to escape, but to understand. To connect with their gods, to ease the burdens of their minds, to find visions in the hush of night. Imagine now a soft cup, placed in your hands. The clay is warm, smooth beneath your fingertips. Inside, the liquid glows faintly in the lamplight, rich with lotus essence. You lift it slowly, inhaling the honey-sweet aroma, and take the gentlest sip. The warmth spreads through your throat, your chest, your limbs. You can feel it now, your body sinking, your mind rising, drifting into that space between worlds. The temple fades, and you find yourself wandering along a moonlit path by the Nile. The river glimmers silver, carrying the reflection of the stars. Palm trees sway gently overhead, their fronds rustling like soft lullabies. The air is cooler here, a breeze rolling off the water, carrying with it the scent of night-blooming jasmine. Each step is light, each step is slower. The sand beneath your feet is cool, smooth. The sound of frogs and crickets fills the night soft, hypnotic, like nature's own chorus urging you to rest. A small boat waits at the riverbank, its wood curved and painted, adorned with lotus flowers at its bow. You step inside, lowering yourself onto the woven mat. The boat sways gently, rocking you as though the Nile herself were cradling you to sleep. A boatman pushes off the bank with his oar, and the vessel glides smoothly across the dark, glassy water. With each sway, your mind loosens further. Each ripple carries you deeper. The Egyptians believed that the Nile was not only a river of earth, but a reflection of the great river of the sky, the Milky Way, carrying souls to the afterlife. As you drift along, you gaze upward. The stars above shimmer like jewels scattered across black silk. For a moment, you cannot tell where the river ends and the heavens begin. You are floating in both at once. Earth and sky, body and soul, the boat drifts silently. The only sound is the dip of the oar, the gentle splash of water falling back, the sigh of the river against the hull. The lotus blossoms at the bow glow faintly, their scent calming, their energy wrapping you like a second skin. Feel how you are being carried, feel how you are safe. The journey is not hurried, not rushed, it is timeless, endless, like sleep itself. And just as the Egyptians believed, this drifting is a rebirth, a returning, a remembering of your eternal self. The scholar, the priests, the chants, the incense all dissolve behind you. Ahead, only the river, the stars, the quiet hush of eternity. And so you drift, deeper and deeper. Your thoughts like petals falling onto water, floating, weightless. Carried by the current into stillness, into silence, into rest.
And as the little boat glides onward, notice how your body feels even lighter, as though the Nile itself is carrying you not only across water, but across time, across dreams, across worlds unseen. The boatman rows with steady rhythm, his form silhouetted against the moonlight. He does not speak, yet his presence is calming, like an old guardian who has ferried countless souls across the river of night. His oar dips, rises, drips softly, a lullaby of water on wood. You lean back against the woven mat, gazing upward once more at the vast canopy of stars. In those stars, the Egyptians saw stories. They looked upon the heavens not as empty space, but as a living tapestry, woven by gods. The Milky Way, stretching across the dark, was believed to be a heavenly reflection of the Nile itself. To them, traveling the river at night was like touching eternity. Your breath becomes like the oar, steady, slow, effortless. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. You drift deeper into trance, and with each sway of the boat, you begin to hear something soft in the distance. A low hum, a vibration carried on the wind. The sound grows closer, and soon you realize it is the chanting of another gathering, this one far older, far more secret. The boat nudges gently onto a hidden bank. A small fire glows ahead, surrounded by robed figures. You step from the vessel, your feet sinking into the cool sand, and walk toward the circle. The firelight flickers against ancient jars, painted with images of lotuses, poppies, and the eyes of Horus. Around the flames, they pass small cups, drinking slowly, eyes half closed, swaying gently as though dancing with unseen winds. You sit among them. The air is thick with the fragrance of herbs, opium, poppy, believed to soothe pain and induce vivid dreams. Henbane, used sparingly in their medicine. And once again, the sacred lotus. The flames crackle softly. Sparks rise into the night, like tiny stars joining their kin above. A priestess begins to speak, her voice calm, measured, entrancing. She tells of how these substances were not merely for pleasure, but for healing, for journeying, for glimpsing realms beyond ordinary sight. They were bridges, doors, and rivers leading to communion with gods. She lifts her hands toward the sky, describing the goddess Hathor, lady of music and joy, patroness of intoxication and love. In her festivals, wine flowed freely, sometimes mixed with plant infusions to dissolve fear and open hearts. For the Egyptians, to become light, to become euphoric, was to step closer to Hathor's embrace. You feel yourself softening too, drifting into warmth, as though Hathor herself is smiling upon you. The priestess continues. She speaks of Sekhmet, the lion-headed goddess, fierce and powerful. There are tales of her wrath, calmed only when she was tricked into drinking vast bowls of red-dyed beer, believing it to be blood. As she drank, her fury softened, her strength turned to laughter, her chaos transformed into peace. And so, even gods found stillness through intoxication. Even they surrendered to altered states, finding balance again in the gentle haze. Notice how your own body feels. Balance your muscles loose, your mind clear, your spirit calm. The circle hums with energy, a low vibration felt in your chest, soothing, grounding. A cup is passed into your hands. The vessel is cool and heavy, painted with lotus petals. You bring it to your lips and sip. The liquid is rich, herbal, earthy. As it spreads through you, time slows even more. The voices around you become distant. The firelight blurs. The air itself feels thick like honey. You close your eyes. And in that moment, visions begin to rise. You see yourself walking through a vast golden hall, its ceiling glittering with stars, its floor polished smooth as water. Columns stretch upward, carved with spirals of lotus, papyrus, and vines. At the far end, a great throne waits, and upon it, a radiant figure of Pharaoh, cloaked in gold, holding a staff crowned with the ankh. Their eyes glow softly, as though lit by suns. The Pharaoh beckons you closer, their voice both gentle and commanding. All that you seek is within. The plants, the river, the stars, these are guides, not destinations. You are already whole. You are already eternal. The words sink into you like seeds into fertile soil. The hall dissolves, the throne fades, and you are once again by the fire. The cup empty in your hands, your body wrapped in calm. You breathe deeply, slowly. Your chest rises, falls. Rises. Falls. Like the eternal Nile. The priestess lays a hand upon your shoulder, her touch warm, grounding. Sleep is the truest temple, she whispers. In dreams, the gods speak most clearly, and so you lie back upon the sand, the fire crackling softly beside you. The chants now, a gentle hum, the stars spinning slowly above. The earth cradles you, the night enfolds you, and your breath carries you deeper, deeper, deeper into rest. You are safe. You are timeless. You are carried by the river of sleep.